It's merely a gathering, my father remarked when I found myself excluded from my brother's grand welcome home celebration. It's merely a reunion, my father remarked when I found myself excluded from my brother's grand welcome home celebration. I decided to embark on a ski adventure instead. Days passed, and my family was lighting up my phone. Alex lounged on the couch, fingers gliding over the screen of their phone when suddenly, a message from Ryan appeared. Greetings. Just wanted to share a little tidbit. There's a gathering happening this weekend. Guest list secured. In the midst of constraints, we found ourselves needing to pare it back. I trust you will understand. The words landed with the force of a sudden blow. Ryan, their little brother, just returned from a 2-year deployment, was hosting a grand welcome home celebration. Yet Alex, who had been his steadfast support through every grainy video call from the other side of the globe, found himself left out of the festivities. They gazed at the screen, their thumb poised above the reply button, anticipating the playful follow-up that never materialized. They had always shared a deep bond. In the quiet hours of the night, Alex became a beacon of hope for Ryan, soothing his fears as he faced the grueling challenges of basic training. With thoughtful gestures, he sent care packages filled with Ryan's beloved beef jerky, a small taste of home amidst the monotony of army rations. And when the moment was right, he orchestrated a surprise call from Mia, Ryan's fiancée, bridging the distance between them with love and connection, even from afar in Kuwait. And now, the confines of space were narrow. As Alex scrolled through the chat history, their jaw tightened with each message that flashed before their eyes. Endless affirmations of, "You're the best, Alex, and can't wait to see you." Each word felt like a reminder of the sting that came from being relegated to the status of an afterthought. In search of answers, they reached out to their dad, who had been building excitement for the party for weeks. The phone rang just twice before a rough voice broke through the silence. "Greetings, young one. What brings you here today?" Alex sprang into action without hesitation. "Father, Ryan just sent me a message, letting me know that I'm not on the guest list for his party." What unfolds before us? A moment of silence hung in the air, followed by a sigh, as if Alex were the source of the disturbance. "Behold, it is merely a gathering of old friends. Don't make it bigger than it is. The venue is quite intimate. We simply couldn't accommodate everyone." With a firm grasp, Alex held the phone tightly. "Petite, I just came across Ryan's post about the entire crew making an appearance. He has tagged more than 100 individuals." Father let out a sudden cough, taken by surprise. "Ah, the way of the world, isn't it? Those last-minute RSVPs always seem to pop up, don't they? It's not about you. Not intimate?" Alex felt a fiery sensation in his chest. For months, they poured their hearts into crafting Ryan's welcome home flyers, fine-tuning every detail until Mia declared it was just right. And now they found themselves divided, as if they were just an arbitrary addition to the tale. "Father, I am his brother, sister," they pressed, their voice unwavering yet incisive. "How does that not rate and invite?" Yet another sigh escapes. "Alex, let's not blow this out of proportion." On a singular night, the dismissal ignited a firestorm. Alex hung up, a storm of emotions brewing within, already scheming something far grander than a mere quarrel. Alex lingered in the moment, the phone still radiating warmth from the recent call. "Father," the sharpness of his words echoing in their thoughts like an unwelcome melody on endless replay. "It's merely a gathering of old friends." Merely a gathering? It was something extraordinary. It was the day of Ryan's return, the brother they celebrated at every milestone of his deployments, the one for whom they set aside all else, answering the call to lend a voice that would guide him from the shadows. Once upon a time, there was a moment that beckoned for a continuation, a thread waiting to be woven into the fabric of a tale yet to unfold. In that moment, Dad's nonchalant gesture spoke volumes. In the tapestry of family life, Alex's role was one that could be woven in or out, a thread that seemed to hold little weight. With a flick of the wrist, the phone landed on the couch, and they began to pace the living room, the hardwood floor groaning softly beneath their restless movements. Each recollection of stretching myself to the limit for Ryan, meticulously reviewing his, as he penned his enlistment essay. Memories flooded back like a highlight reel of their own foolishness of wiring him cash, When his truck broke down, the fury simmered, a gradual rise transforming into something more intense, more piercing. They had always been the binding force, the one who eased the tension after Ryan's blunders. Like that moment when he had, after a night of revelry at the bar, he found himself in a predicament at DUI. Yet, without a moment's hesitation, Alex embarked on a 2-hour journey to rescue him, offering help without a single question. They had crafted his engagement announcement the previous year, toiling away until the clock struck 3 a.m. to obtain. The font was precisely as Mia envisioned, for she desired nothing less than perfection. And what reward did they reap for their efforts? A tale unfolds in the vast expanse of space, where the constraints of the universe seem to echo the lamentations of Dad, who, in a moment of playful exaggeration, bemoans the loss of a cherished movie night. As if the stars themselves were dimmed by the absence of popcorn and laughter, Alex halted his restless movements, fists tight, gazing intently at the picture resting on the mantel. They end. At his boot camp graduation, Ryan stood with his arms slung around his comrades, grinning as if nothing could dampen their spirits, shatter them. It seems that it indeed could. Then arrived the unexpected blow. As dawn broke, Alex found themselves at Brew Haven, seeking solace in a warm cup of coffee, still feeling the lingering effects of the previous night, when a whisper of conversation caught their ear. Once upon a time, two cousins, Jess and Tyler, found themselves gathered around a table. The window, their voices weaving through the gentle hiss of the espresso machine. Absolutely, Ryan's party is set to be legendary, Jess remarked, her eyes glued to her phone. With a sly grin, Tyler leaned in closer. It seems Alex may have ruffled some feathers, doesn't it? Left out entirely. Jess chuckled, a crisp, unguarded sound that danced in the air. Isn't that so? It's a bit disheartening, to be truthful. Alex halted abruptly, the coffee in their cup splashing around. The barista's voice rang out, but it barely reached their ears, a warmth rising up their neck as the words settled in. Did that ruffle his feathers? Melancholic, they were not a distant kin pleading for a place to sit. They were Ryan's troublesome sibling. With heads turning and eyes flickering in their direction, Alex dashed out the door, the public sting of it gnawing at their insides. Upon their return home, the sting of humiliation intertwined with the flames of anger, creating a tempest within that left them trembling. They settled into the couch, revisiting every moment they had allowed. Ryan glided effortlessly down the slide, neglected celebrations, abrupt withdrawals, and requests that only surfaced when he sought assistance. And Dad, ever the voice of reason, with his constant reminders to rise above, as if Alex's feelings were merely a hurdle to navigate. The whispers in the coffee shop were the final drop that overflowed the cup. This served as evidence that it wasn't merely a personal slight, but rather a message that echoed throughout the family, signaling that Alex held no significance. With the phone in hand, their thumb lingered over Dad's number, a strong urge to dial and release the weight of every lingering grievance. But what was the purpose? With a heavy sigh, he'd urge them to relax, yet Ryan wouldn't even bother to respond. Something broke free. With a flick of his finger, Alex dismissed Dad's contact and turned his attention to a travel app that beckoned with possibilities. If they didn't measure up for Ryan's grand evening, they certainly weren't going to linger and wallow in disappointment. They journeyed through a tapestry of destinations, each click igniting a spark of rebellious excitement. Hawaii, exceeding the limits. Miami, overwhelmed by the throngs, until they touched down in Colorado. A ski lodge in Breckenridge, with its snow-dusted peaks and cozy cabins, beckoned from the screen. Absolutely splendid. Was Ryan's party on Saturday? Very well. Alex would be carving through the snow instead, somewhere 1,000 miles away from the family's nonsense. With unwavering confidence, they secured their reservation. Picture this, a luxurious flight soaring through the night sky on Friday, leading to a charming cabin nestled right by the slopes, complete with a private hot tub. And to top it all off, an all-inclusive package featuring ski lessons, lift tickets, and everything you could dream of for the perfect winter getaway. The amount was staggering, yet Alex remained unfazed. They would dedicated years to embodying the role of the supportive sibling. It was finally their moment to indulge. The choice unfolded like the release of a burden they had long carried, yet remained unaware of its presence. They reached out to their workplace and decided to redeem a few vacation days. Their boss remained unfazed, simply stating, "You deserve it," before beginning to pack. Snow boots, thermals, that puffy jacket they had purchased for a journey that never came to be. With every item thrown into the suitcase, a defiant gesture was made against the family's expectations. They envisioned the look on Dad's face when he discovered they weren't coming to plead for forgiveness. Ryan stood there, bewildered, as he realized they had completely checked out. Excellent. Allow them to simmer in their own thoughts. On that Thursday night, Alex found himself wide awake, a surge of adrenaline coursing through him. At their desk, they immersed themselves in the art of creation, bringing to life a vision of the lodge's breathtaking view through their sketches. Rugged summits rise against the sky, a warm fire crackles invitingly, a moment to share in the future. The phone chimed softly, a message arriving from Mother. "I understand you're feeling a bit down about the party. Father assures me it's nothing to worry about. Just come along regardless." Alex let out a derisive snort. "Join us regardless?" Would a touch of compassion mend the situation? Silence enveloped them as they continued to sketch, each line growing bolder, infused with a simmering intensity. Once more, a ping echoes, and it's Ryan this time. "My friend, you can't possibly be upset, can you? It's merely a gathering, just a gathering." The reverberation of Dad's words lingered heavily in the air. With a decisive thud, Alex cast the pencil aside, seized their laptop, and elevated the journey ahead. Luxurious seating for the journey, round trip, accompanied by a personal ski guide. In the grand tapestry of their actions, it was clear that if they were engaged in this endeavor, they were indeed on the right path. On a Friday morning, Alex found themselves in the kitchen, savoring a cup of coffee while gazing at the suitcase, tightly packed and waiting by the door. In just 6 hours, the journey would take to the skies, as Ryan's friends busied themselves with streamers, and the sound of cracking beers filled the air. They remained blissfully unaware that Alex had reached his limit of playing the supporting role. With a flicker of anticipation, they opened Instagram and crafted a caption that danced across the screen. "When you don't find yourself on the list, you craft your own journey," scheduling it to unfold mid-flight. There's no advantage in giving them a heads up too soon. Allow the impact to resonate once they have departed. The cab's horn blared outside, prompting Alex to snatch up their bag, a playful smirk dancing on their lips. They were not merely fleeing, they were crafting a new narrative. Ryan was set for his party, Dad had his reasons, but Alex, they were bound for the mountains, and nothing could hold them back. As Alex disembarked from the plane in Denver, the invigorating mountain air enveloped them, a refreshing jolt that stirred the senses, while they pulled their suitcase along the bustling terminal. Final destination. The first-class flight unfolded like a dream, complete with warm towels, a glass of bourbon, and legroom that allowed them to stretch without feeling like sardines. In the midst of their journey, they shared a snapshot on Instagram, capturing a moment with the plane window framing a vast expanse of clouds. The caption read, "When you don't make the list, you make your own plans." Silence speaks volumes, a subtle display of confidence. As they touched down, their phone buzzed incessantly, yet they chose to disregard it, relishing the sweet liberation of being 1,500 miles away from Ryan's party and their father's justifications. A shuttle lingered outside, a polished van adorned with the emblem of Breckenridge Lodge on its side. The driver, a man with a graying beard and a warm grin, tossed Alex's bag into the back and offered them a bottle of water. "Is this your inaugural adventure on the slopes?" he inquired as they ventured onto the highway, the Rockies rising before them like sharp teeth piercing the sky. "Indeed," Alex remarked, reclining slightly, craving a shift in rhythm. The driver gave a subtle nod, offering no questions, merely gesturing towards a few peaks as the road ascended. As Alex journeyed onward, the sounds of conversation enveloped them, each passing mile easing the tightness that had gripped them throughout the week. The lodge appeared as if it had been plucked right from the pages of a postcard. A vast wooden structure embraced the foot of the mountain, its grand stone fireplace casting glowing embers into the twilight sky. As Alex stepped up to the counter, the clerk, a lively woman named Tara, gracefully slid a key card across the surface, accompanied by a steaming mug of mulled wine that enveloped their hands in warmth. She said, "It's the slopeside cabin, just as you reserved, elevates 50 yards from your doorstep. Delight in the experience." With a subtle nod, Alex picked up their bag and stepped outside, the sound of boots crunching on the fresh snow echoing in the crisp air. The cabin was a dream come to life, a grand bed adorned with soft flannel blankets, a gas fireplace springing to life at the touch of a remote, and a wall of windows framing the majestic mountain bathed in the hues of a pink sunset. With a thud, the suitcase hit the ground, and the wine they had cleverly acquired from the lobby was uncorked with a satisfying pop. They stepped onto the private deck, ready for the adventure that awaited them. The chill nipped at their cheeks, yet the sight before them, oh my, it was absolutely worth it. They settled into a plush chair by the flickering fire, perusing the initial wave of responses to their post. Cousin Tara, the other Tara, the one who's always cool, just dropped a fire emoji. "Looks like you're living your best life, huh?" And an old college buddy chimed in, "Bro, where's my invite?" Uncle Mike, the quirky one in the family, penned a bold move. The kid should have left them behind ages ago. With a sly grin, Alex savored the wine, allowing the delightful thrill of it to wash over him. Then, a message from Dad appeared. "Alex, it seems you're putting your own needs first. Tonight belongs to Ryan." Self-centered, after they had discarded Alex as if he were yesterday's refuse, they brushed it aside, showing no interest in. "Respond." Mom interjected, urging, "Let's not turn this into a big deal." It was already a reality, and Alex had taken the reins, steering the course from here on out. On a Saturday morning, as Ryan's party likely began with cheap beer and lackluster speeches, Alex was preparing to embark on their first skiing lesson. Strapping on their skis with anticipation, the instructor, a lean fellow named Sam with a nose kissed by the sun, guided them through the fundamentals. With knees bent and poles relaxed, surrender to the hill's embrace. They embarked on a green run first, a gentle slope that felt like soaring through the air once Alex found his rhythm. The wind howled as it rushed by, snow swirling in its wake, and for the first time in days, their thoughts fell silent. Only the thrill, no familial strife, no pain, just the exhilarating rush. By noon, they were gliding through the turns as if the mountains had whispered their secrets to them since birth, Sam's voice ringing out, "You're natural," amidst the joyful crunch of powder beneath their skis. With a breathless laugh, Alex captured a moment from the lift, boots swinging, as the peaks stretched endlessly before them. The photo was shared with the words, "Powder beats pity any day." Returning to the cabin, they exchanged their skis for a soothing soak in the hot tub, where steam danced upward as snowflakes met their warm embrace. The phone lay on the deck, vibrating once more, yet Alex chose to ignore it. Captivated by the way the mountains shimmered beneath the floodlights, they had truly earned this, every bubble, every fleeting moment of tranquility. On that enchanting night, the lodge bar called out, a warm haven adorned with exposed beams, where a guitarist serenaded the atmosphere with soft, soothing melodies. Alex took a seat, requested a whiskey neat, and allowed the comforting warmth to envelop him. A couple at the next table engaged in conversation, tourists from Seattle visiting for the season. "What draws you out on your own?" the woman inquired. With a sly grin, Alex thought about the family reunion he hadn't been invited to and decided it was time for an upgrade. The man chuckled, lifting his glass high, toasting to the promise of better company ahead. As the glasses met with a gentle clink, a spark ignited within Alex, a sense of pride, perhaps, in the decision to forge their own unique journey. Sunday emerged in a brilliant display, the kind of day where the sky wore a deep blue, making the snow shimmer with an almost dazzling intensity. Alex struck the once more. They ascended the slopes, determined to conquer a blue run this time. Thighs aflame, they faced the challenge of steeper descents. As they journeyed halfway down, a sudden vibration from their jacket beckoned for attention, insistent enough to warrant a glance. A message from Tara, my cousin, not clerk, You're overlooking a complete spectacle. Reach out to me if you're in the mood for some gossip." With a sense of wonder pulling at them, Alex tucked it away, completing the run with a haphazard stop that brought a smile to their face. Returning to the cabin, they poured a steaming cup of coffee, settled their feet by the crackling fire, and reached for the phone to call Tara. She answered the first ring, her voice soft and secretive, as if she were concealing something precious. "All right, you're really going to enjoy this," she exclaimed. Ryan's gathering, an utter calamity. Alex leaned forward, the coffee slipping from memory. Tara unleashed her thoughts without reservation. Mia erupted in a whirlwind of emotions last night when she discovered Ryan exchanging flirtatious glances with his high school ex. Right there, in the midst of the crowd, with a swift motion, she hurled her drink at him, her fury palpable, before storming out in a whirlwind of emotion. Father attempted to mediate the situation, yet Ryan, inebriated, erupted in anger, shouting and striking the wall with force. He suffered a fracture in his hand. The celebration continues, yet chaos reigns supreme. Alex's jaw dropped, a laugh bubbling up like a wellspring of joy. "Hold on, did he really break his hand?" "Indeed," Tara remarked with a chuckle. Yartrip and all that it encompasses. Father's frustration fills the air, while Mother's tears flow like a river of sorrow. And Ryan stands amidst the chaos, casting blame in every direction except his own. Alex shook their head, envisioning the whirlwind of events. That seems to fit the bill. They hung up, gazing into the flames, the sheer absurdity of it all settling deep within them. Ryan's grand evening, his moment of triumph, had fallen apart, and Alex was absent to witness the unraveling. With a swift motion, they took hold of their phone, capturing a moment of the hot tub, its steam rising against the serene snowy landscape, and shared it with the world. "It seems I chose the perfect weekend to leap into adventure." As the likes poured in swiftly, Alex chose not to dwell on them. As they ventured outside, the brisk chill jolted them into alertness, and they inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. This was more than mere escape. It was a declaration. Ryan could host his party, Dad could deliver his lectures, but Alex found solace in the mountains, the whiskey, and the tranquility. But their journey was far from over. As the first light of Sunday dawned, Alex stirred awake to find sunlight streaming through the cabin's blinds, casting a warm, golden hue that hinted at yet another flawless day awaiting on the slopes. With a gentle stretch, their joints creaked from the exertions of yesterday's runs, and they padded softly to the kitchenette, their socks whispering against the floor. The coffee maker gurgled softly, echoing the memories of Tara's call swirling in their mind, Ryan's party faltering, Mia's emotional unraveling, and the unfortunate incident of the broken hand. It felt as if the cosmos had orchestrated a perfect moment, tipping the scales in favor of something extraordinary. With a mug in hand, dark and steaming, they ventured out onto the deck. The mountain stood tall, tranquil and unyielding, a striking juxtaposition to the turmoil brewing in the distance of home. With a sly grin, Alex took a measured sip, allowing the moment to unfold in a captivating dance. Their phone, resting on the nightstand and quietly charging, had remained silent ever since they silenced notifications following Tara's update. Yet a sense of curiosity lingered, tugging at their thoughts. With eager hands, they seized it, flipping through the lock screen. The excitement from their last post, "It seems I chose the perfect weekend to make my move," had reached a fever pitch. Cousins are dropping laughing emojis, friends from work are chiming in with legendary status, and even a random high school pal is saying, "You're my hero." Then the messages from the family began to accumulate. "Mother, Alex, would you be so kind as to give me a call? Chaos reigns in this place. Father, this has lost its humor. Ryan is in pain. Ryan himself. My friend, where do you find yourself?" Things took a wild turn last night. Alex's smirk grew ever broader. Wounded, he had struck the wall, a consequence of his own actions. Then arrived the twist, Ryan's forthcoming communication. "If only you had been here to soothe my restless spirit, the situation might have unfolded differently. Thank you for not." Alex gazed intently, coffee poised delicately, just a breath away from their lips, astonishment transforming into a sudden, piercing burst of laughter, soothing his spirit. After he'd sent them packing from his grand evening, the audacity was beyond belief. Father added more to the heap. In our time of greatest need, you turned your back on us. I wish you joy. Content. The joy was palpable. The family that regarded them as an afterthought. Exhausted. I now desired for them to assume the role of a mechanic for a wreck they were not responsible for. Alex placed the mug down with a force that sent coffee splashing onto the deck, grumbling. You've got to. Do not jest with me. The phone continued to vibrate persistently. Once more, it was Mom, and then there was Mia, of all individuals. Who is it that calls for Alex? I'm at a loss for what steps to take next. Is Ryan a bit of a disaster? Kindly reach out. With a dismissive snort, Alex expressed their disbelief. Mia, who had expressed her enthusiasm for their assistance with the engagement call, remained silent when they were removed from the list. Now she sought a glimmer of hope. They journeyed back through the threads, weaving the narrative together. Tara's tale held spaces, moments waiting to be woven in. They called her once more, resting against the deck railing as the line echoed with its persistent ring. She replied, her voice soft yet alive with excitement. Now you've really done it, she remarked. Where did we pause our tale? Ryan's hand. With a grin, Alex declared, continue onward. Tara embarked on her journey. All right, once Mia dashed away, Ryan completely unraveled. In a heated exchange, I found myself shouting at Dad, pointing fingers for his decision to invite the ex. He retaliated, calling me ungrateful, and just like that, we were caught in a dramatic showdown. With a fierce swing at the wall, Ryan cracks his knuckles and unleashes a howl that echoes through the air. The celebration will have come to an end by that time. Half the guests vanished into thin air, while the remaining ones lingered. Eyes wide in astonishment, Alex let out a soft laugh, picturing the vivid scene in his mind. Streamers drooping, beer cans scattered across the floor, Ryan gripping his fist as if caught in the throes of a child's outburst. It only improves from here, Tara remarked. Uncle Pete, you know, the vibrant one, collapsed face first into the punch bowl, attempting to stir things up. They needed to reel him in. Bathed in the vibrant essence of fruit juice, Alex found himself gasping for breath. Absolutely not. I swear to God, Tara exclaimed, her laughter ringing out. Then Grandma strides in, all fire and brimstone, declaring Ryan a disgrace for shutting you out. It was whispered that a dark legacy haunted the night. Alex's smile grew ever broader. Grandma, the unpredictable spirit of the family, unleashing karma with the force of a hammer. They spoke with certainty, affirming her truth. Tara let out a soft chuckle. And what of the venue? They closed the bar early after Ryan attempted to order shots with his injured hand. Everyone was shown the door by 11. A complete disaster. Alex hung up, mind swirling with the delightful absurdity of it all. Ryan's moment of glory, his grand return, had unraveled into a chaotic spectacle, and they weren't even present to clean up the aftermath. The phone illuminated once more. Mother, begging. We are unraveling. Alex, assistance is required. It was cast aside, unnoticed. Yet, Ryan's forthcoming words froze them in their tracks. I apologize. All right, I never imagined it would turn out this way. Return to the place where your heart belongs. I apologize. At this moment, once the coffee shop murmurs fade, the limitations of the space reveal themselves. The game of assigning blame, Alex's jaw clenched with determination. Insufficient and tardy. With excitement in the air, they gathered their ski gear, lacing up their boots as the day's adventure began to unfold. Perhaps another run, followed by lunch at the lodge grill. Yet, the phone persisted, ringing on and on. Dad's voicemail appeared, his voice rough and textured. This rests on your shoulders, Alex. If you had been present, Ryan would have maintained his composure. Reach out to me. With a swift motion, Alex struck the delete key, a surge of anger igniting within. They had been struck from the guest list, ridiculed in the open, and now found themselves cast as the scapegoat. With a rush of energy, they burst through the door, seized a pen, and hastily jotted down a fleeting thought in their mind. No more mending their troubles. The slope beckoned, and Alex responded, racing down a blue run with fierce determination. Snow danced in the air, the wind howled fiercely, and with each twist and turn, the family's burdens of guilt melted away. They paused at the base, breathless, and glanced at their phone one final time. Mia once more. "Oh, Alex, I implore you." With a hovering anticipation, they lingered over the block button, and then, with a decisive four taps, Ryan, Dad, Mom, and Mia vanished into the digital ether. Silence enveloped the scene, rich and profound. They sent a message to Tara. The gathering promises to be an exhilarating experience. "I find myself quite content in this place." She fired a retort. "You are a true icon." Grandma continues her spirited tale. Ryan gathers the fruits of his labor. With a swift motion, Alex tucked the phone away and made his way to the lodge bar, where he ordered a hearty burger and a refreshing beer. The atmosphere buzzed with skiers exchanging tales, a stark contrast to the calamity that awaited back home. They dined leisurely, relishing the succulent patty and the crisp effervescence of the IPA. The bartender, with a twinkle in his eye, slid a napkin across the bar, a playful grin dancing on his lips. "Your expression suggests you've just experienced a delightful victory." With a hearty chuckle, Alex found amusement in the moment. "Indeed, my grasp on reality." With a generous tip in hand, they ventured outside, the snow crunching beneath their feet. The hot tub beckoned, steam rising gracefully into the twilight as Alex eased into its embrace, allowing the warmth to dissolve the remnants of their stress. With a click, they captured the moment, bubbles dancing in the air, the mountain radiating warmth, and shared it with the world. "It seems I didn't miss much after all. Here's to skillfully evading danger." The numbers climbed, yet Alex remained indifferent. Amidst the remnants of Ryan's party, the family was in disarray. Yet here they stood, untouched, unbothered, and free. They reclined, gazing at the stars, allowing the night to consume everything else. As dawn broke on Monday, Alex stirred to the delicate sound of snow cascading from the cabin's roof. A tender nudge that whispered they remained nestled in their mountain haven. The warm embrace of the hot tub and the crisp taste of beer from the night before had set them free, feeling lighter than they had in ages. As the first light of dawn crept in, they emerged from the warmth of their slumber. Crafting a fragrant pot of coffee, clad in a thick robe, they ventured onto the deck, where the steam from their mugs danced gracefully into the crisp, icy air. The Rockies loomed, expansive and serene, a stronghold standing guard against the turmoil brewing within the family. Tara's update, along with the block numbers, had woven the final threads of the tale. Alex had finished with the role of the cleanup crew. They savored each sip, a smile creeping across their faces as they recalled Grandma's infamous line about bad blood, leaving it to her to transform Ryan's blunder into a grand tale of cosmic consequence. The phone, now a solid block of serene quiet, rested on the counter. Enough with the blame. Let us seek peace instead. With the last sip of coffee warming their spirit, Alex laced up their boots, ready to embrace the thrill of the slopes for a morning run. The blue trail unfolded beneath them like a well-told tale, each turn more precise, each carve a testament to their rising confidence. They paused at the summit, their breath mingling with the chilly air, allowing the triumph to wash over them. Ryan's party had taken a turn for the chaotic. The family was struggling to regain control. And then there was Alex. They were flourishing. Upon returning to the cabin, they shed their gear and surveyed the lodge's surroundings, a spark of excitement igniting within them. The journey was meant to conclude on Wednesday, but why hurry home? With a flick of the wrist, they opened their laptop and decided to extend their stay through next week. Adventures on the slopes, a journey through untouched terrain, and evenings filled with laughter at the local tavern. Another day, another email to the boss, met with the same indifferent response. Time stretches on, unhurried and unbothered. Alex smirked, envisioning the look on Dad's face when they failed to appear and seek forgiveness. Let him simmer in his own thoughts, for they have secured everything. First class returned, a bump to next Sunday, and I felt the thrill of cutting the cord stretch deeper. As the sun hung high in the sky, I found myself savoring a steak sandwich at the grill, surrounded by the lively chatter of midweek skiers filling the lodge with warmth and energy. In a quiet moment, Alex dined in solitude, relishing the peace, when a message from Tara broke the stillness. "Heads up, Mom's planning an intervention. When you're returning, and it seems like you're caught in a whirlwind. With a hearty laugh, Alex leaned into their fries, caught in a delightful whirlwind, and captured the moment with a snap of the camera, of the sandwich, the snowy peaks peeking through the window, and returned it to the sender. Convey to her that I'm fully immersed in my journey of flourishing, and I won't be able to attend. Tara's response came swiftly, a moment to remember. She'll be thrilled, that's for sure. Her flip. With a satisfied finish to his meal, Alex slipped a tip to the server and made his way out, a mischievous delight bubbling within him at the thought of Mom's impending ambush. On that fateful night, they found themselves at the bar, whiskey warming their hands. The guitarist filled the air with the familiar notes of Sweet Home Alabama. Across the room, the Seattle couple from Saturday beckoned them over, and Alex, drawn by the moment, joined in, exchanging tales of ski adventures, tales shared during a second round. Is the family still unraveling? The fellow inquired, a smile spreading across his face. Ah, indeed, Alex remarked, with a graceful swirl of her glass. Grandma dubbed it divine justice. While I saw it as a narrow escape, the woman raised her glass in a toast, celebrating the art of dodging bullets. As the glasses met with a gentle clink, Alex sensed the final strands of guilt unraveling, freeing him from their weight. This new encounter, free from the weight of the past, surpassed any reunion one could imagine. On Tuesday, they embarked on the backcountry tour, with a guide leading them through pristine dust. The stillness enveloped them, shattered solely by the sound of skis gliding over snow and the rhythm of their own breaths. At the summit, Alex drew forth their phone, capturing the boundless white expanse in a single snap, and shared it with the world. Zero. Remorse, complete tranquility. No one in the family witnessed it. Numbers remained blocked, yet the likes poured in from friends, Tara, and even Uncle Mike. Continue to remind them. Kid, Alex did, sending a final text to Mom and Ryan. Savor the intervention. I'm occupied avoiding your chaos. And so, they sealed off the replies, marking the end of the tale. As the week unfolds, by Wednesday, as Alex lounged in the cabin, a book in hand and the fire crackling nearby, a sense of untethered freedom washed over them, a feeling they hadn't experienced in quite some time. Recognized what was essential. Ryan's party, Dad's lectures, Mom's tears, they lingered like whispers, fading with each delicate snowflake that fell. They lifted their coffee towards the mountain, a quiet salute to the finest decision they'd ever embraced. Allowing the family to bustle around them, Alex embraced the slopes, gazed at the stars, and found a peace they had rightfully earned. No regrets, only fulfillment. Victory.